Happy Sabbath again, everyone. Lately, more and more, I have been concerned about the pain in this world. And the more I think about it, is the more I realize that there's not much I can do to help. But that is not as true as I may want to believe. Though I may not be able to help in the ways I want to, there are ways I still can help. We often say, all we can do is just pray about it. But God showed me the other day that, yes, we should pray for guidance and intervention, but He also gave us tools. And the tools He gave me is the ability to write and speak. And so today's spoken word is entitled, Pain Unanswered. There is a whirlwind of questions around the word pain. We all have a different response when we see pain. Some of us drop on bended knees and pray until heaven opens and God intervenes. Then there's the rest who don't know God can intervene. At least some of them don't want to believe. When they hear the name Jesus, Yahweh, Adonai, Jireh, they ask instead, how can a so-called loving God allow for there to be so much evil? The same evil we created, not necessarily you, but we. But for the first time, God allowed me to see it from their lens. And man, must I say, it's a really good question. Hey, I'm not messing with your theology, just hear me out for a second. There is a teenage girl walking into an abortion clinic, fearfully thinking that is her only option. There's a young boy enlisting in a gang because his father is non-existent. He sells his first bag and buys foods for him and his siblings. October 2022, a 3-year-old was shot and killed in Madisonville. A child leaves for school 24 hours later, they're reported missing. There's a boy picking out his next outfit, a dress, because daddy was too prideful to tell him, I love you, son. And of course, how can I forget, we all have our pain, the one we refuse to tell others about, the one that is the trigger point, the one that the devil happily plagues our minds with. So the question still stands, how can a so-called loving God allow for there to be so much evil? When this question is asked, it is meant to put God on trial, to corner him, to get him to choke at his words, to get him to surrender his title as loving God. But let's see what God has to say for himself. Luke 3:11, anyone who has 2 shirts should share with the one who has none. Yet we have many and give none. The poor is still poor. Isaiah 58 verse 7, share your food with the hungry and give shelter to the homeless. Yet our plates overflow with food and we throw the rest in the garbage. The hungry is still hungry. We build mansions for ourselves and curse those who sleep on the street. The homeless is still homeless. Exodus 20 verse 13, you shall not murder. And oh, how we despise the Bible because it's full of rules. We don't like anyone telling us what to do. People are still dying. So we are the ones who should be on trial, not God. We are the ones who need to surrender our disobedience and listen. We are the ones committing the evil. And even after this spoken word, some of us will still be disobedient. But thank God for his mercy, we are not consumed. Pain is not unanswered because love answered.